Have you ever noticed? You keep trying to fix your life again and again, but every time the old version of you comes back, you change your habits, your routine, even the people around you. But the one thing that needs to change the most, you don't change: yourself. And that is the harshest truth of this book. Rebuild Yourself says your life is not stuck because you lack opportunities. Your life is stuck because you're still thinking with the same mindset that brought you here. Think about it. If the same way of thinking keeps hurting you, can it ever give you a new life? Absolutely not. That's why people work hard for years, yet inside they remain the same broken person. They change everything outside but nothing within. This book says you don't need to change your life. You need to change your version of yourself. Here's something deep. Your problems don't come from your decisions. They come from your identity. If you see yourself as weak, you won't be able to make strong decisions. If you believe you're unlucky, you'll miss opportunities even when they're right in front of you. That's why some people fall again and again, but still rise, while others fall once and stay down forever. The difference isn't talent, it's identity. This book teaches that to change your story, you don't just write a new chapter, you become a new character. And the moment you understand this, your struggles don't end, but they stop breaking you from within. Now the real question, do you just want to fix your life, or are you truly ready to change yourself? Because these are completely different things. That's the difference between an average life and a powerful life. Understand this carefully. Wanting to change your life means you want external things to change. More money, better people, fewer problems, more respect. But changing yourself means you're ready to let go of your old version. And that's the hardest part. People don't fear pain, they fear change. You'll stay in pain just to avoid the discomfort of transforming yourself. That's why you repeat the same mistakes. You know what's wrong, yet you still do it. Why? Because your brain finds familiarity safe, even if it hurts. This book says you're not stuck in your comfort zone, you're stuck in your identity zone. Feel this. If you think you're lazy, no matter how many motivational videos you watch, you'll fall back into your old patterns. If you think you're weak, you might act strong for a while, but not permanently, because your inner voice keeps reminding you, this isn't who you are, and you believe it. That's the invisible cage most people live in their entire lives. So how do you break out? The book shows a powerful path. First identify, then break, then rebuild. Identify who you are right now, how you think, react, and what you fear. Break the patterns that keep pulling you back consciously. Rebuild a new version of yourself, the one you want to become. Now imagine this. You want to start something new, but a voice says, "What if I fail?" And you stop. If you remain the same person, the result will be the same. But if you consciously think, "I am someone who tries and learns," you'll take action, and the result will change. That's rebuilding. A small shift, but it changes your life's direction completely. Another thing, change doesn't come from big steps. It comes from micro decisions. Every time you act despite fear, you change your identity. Every time you challenge a negative thought, you create a new pattern. Every time you respect yourself, you increase your value. These small moments build a new person. Now imagine if you make 5 to 10 conscious decisions like this every day. After 30 days, will you be the same person? No, you'll transform from within. And when you change internally, the outside world starts treating you differently. People stay the same, but their behavior toward you changes. Opportunities stay the same, but now you start noticing them. Why? Because you've changed. The book says life shows you only what you're internally ready for. Here's a deep truth. You're not ready, so you don't receive. And you don't receive, so you're not ready. This cycle continues. The only way to break it is to change yourself first, then the world will change. You'll realize the problem was never outside. The problem was that your version wasn't updated. You're still living like your past self, with old fears, old thoughts, old limits, yet expecting a new future. How is that possible? If the software isn't updated, how will the system run faster? That's the next level. You don't just change, you upgrade. Upgrade means you can't remain the same person anymore. You have to let go. Old excuses, old habits, old identity. And this is where most people stop. They want change without loss. They want a new life, but also their old comfort. That's not possible. Every new level demands the death of your old version, and that death happens within. Imagine you get a big opportunity, but a voice says, "I'm not ready," and you step back. When will you be ready? When everything is perfect? When fear disappears? When confidence magically appears? No. Confidence comes from action. And action comes when you move forward despite fear. You don't take action because you're ready. You become ready by taking action. This mindset shift changes everything. How you see yourself becomes your limit. If you see yourself as small, you'll shrink from big opportunities. If you see yourself as capable, you'll turn small opportunities into big ones. The difference is inside, not outside. Here's a real truth. Everything you have in life is the result of your current identity, and everything you don't have, that too. So if you want new results, you need to become a new person. How? Act like the person you want to become. If you want confidence, speak like a confident person. If you want discipline, act with discipline. If you want strength, don't run from difficulty. At first it will feel fake, but gradually it becomes real, because the brain accepts what is repeated as truth. Another deep observation: every day you are voting for your future. With every decision, you either strengthen your old version or your new one. There's no in between. Your life is the result of your daily votes. If you start choosing better thoughts, better actions, and better behavior, even a little, nothing may seem to change at first, but inside everything is shifting. And one day you won't recognize yourself because you'll become the person you once admired. That's rebuilding, slow, silent, but powerful. But here's the reality. You want change, yet you can't stay consistent. 2 days of motivation, 3 days of action, then back to old patterns. Then you say, "This isn't for me." But the truth is, it's not that you can't do it. You built the wrong system. You tie change to emotions. When you feel good, you act. When you don't, you quit. That's the mistake. Emotions are unstable. Today high, tomorrow low. If you live by emotions, your progress will be unstable too. Strong people aren't motivated. They are committed. Motivation says, "I'll do it when I feel like it." Commitment says, "I'll do it whether I feel like it or not." That's where real rebuilding begins. Imagine waking up without motivation. You have two choices: follow your mood or follow your goals. Those who follow mood stay stuck. Those who follow goals move forward. The difference is daily decisions. You overestimate yourself, but underestimate the process. You expect fast results, and when they don't come, you quit. But slow progress is still progress. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Your problem isn't that you're weak. Your problem is you start but don't finish. Every unfinished task breaks your confidence. Then you begin doubting yourself. Self-trust is built when you keep promises to yourself. Small ones, like studying 10 minutes, working 20 minutes, not complaining today. When you keep these promises, your brain starts trusting you. That trust changes your identity. You become someone who does what they say. That is power. Discipline isn't hard. An undisciplined life is hard. Without discipline, you live in stress, guilt, and confusion. With discipline, you live with clarity, focus, and peace. So which is harder? Another shift. You chase results, but results follow systems. If your system is strong, results will come. If your system is weak, results won't last. Focus on your system. Daily actions, daily habits. That's what rebuilds you. But there's a subtle danger. When you start growing, your old version tries to pull you back. Old thoughts, old habits, old excuses. Why? Because your mind wants stability, not change. That's why you progress, then suddenly fall back. But you're not weak. You're in a rewiring phase. Your old and new selves are fighting. One says move forward, the other says stay safe. Most people quit here. But those who understand this know it's not a setback, it's a transition. Growth can feel lonely. Your thinking changes, your priorities change, and people who once aligned with you may not anymore. This is the most dangerous moment. Either you grow or you go back. Growth is never comfortable. It makes you different. Now ask yourself, are you ready to be different, or will you stay the same to feel safe? Another truth. Life won't become perfect when you change. Problems don't end. They upgrade. The difference is now you can handle bigger challenges. Now you respond instead of reacting. You plan instead of panic. You improve instead of blame. That's real growth. You don't need to control everything. You just need to control yourself. You can't change people or always fix situations, but you can choose your response. That's your power. Finally, you stop chasing life and start building yourself. And when you build yourself, life starts coming to you. Opportunities, people, respect, all begin to align. Because now you are ready, and when someone is ready, life doesn't hold them back. It pushes them forward. But the final truth, understanding is not enough. You've understood many things before, watched many videos, but has your life really changed? That's the difference between knowing and doing. Knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is power. If you don't use this daily, it's just words. Now imagine taking this seriously for 30 days. Observe yourself daily, filter your thoughts, upgrade your actions. Your life will start changing, slowly, silently, but permanently. Because you're working within. And when you change within, nothing can stop the results outside. Now the choice is yours. Will you go back to your old life or start rebuilding yourself today? Because the opportunity is now, the power is now, the decision is now. If you don't decide now, you may never. You can change your story, but only when you're ready to change yourself. You can stay average or upgrade. You can wait or create. You can live with excuses or take action. Whatever you choose becomes your identity. So decide today, will you remain the same person or will you rebuild yourself? Because before anything else, you must rebuild yourself.